What do you mean? I see the comments. Do you not see comments?
I see the comments, but they're not responding to anything that's going on the show. And so far, it looks like there are 2 people watching. Are we not broadcasting anywhere? What is happening? The YouTube stream hasn't started.
This
Why
is so
hasn't the
weird.
YouTube stream started? People are watching on Twitch. 2 people are watching on Twitch, but nobody's watching it on YouTube because everything's screwed up.
That's so bizarre.
I have no idea. Now we're on YouTube? Here they go. I hope they just got here, and we're now 4.5 minutes in, and there's a picture of Mopsap. Sean Mopsap.
Oh no!
This is so good.
I'm sorry about that, guys.
I don't know. I don't know why did it take 4.5? I hope that wasn't like lost forever.
I hope not either. Should we do a quick recap?
I guess.
Okay. This is your NXT post show for October 4th. I apologize for my bangs yesterday not being on fleek. They are now back on fleek. We also talked a lot about mops because we had doppelgangers yesterday.
Yeah.
There were several mops that looked like wrestlers. Starting with, I guess we'll start with the OG Edge.
Right. Yep. I'm not going to sing it again because I already did.
Okay.
Mop Edge.
This is
Mop. Like, who wins, Mop Edge or the cleaner Kenny Omega? And I said, not fair. Unless you can find me a mop that looks like Kenny Omega. LEC's found us a mop that looks like Kenny Omega. And then she found us a mop that looks like Kate. And then LEC's found us a mop that looks kind of like Linda. She cheated because he put a mop on top of something else. But also she found us a mop that looks like Sean Ross Sapp, but also Sean Mopsap. And so there we go. We've created Moppelgangers. It's a new thing. There's a whole line of Moppelgangers. And so I want everyone who
Fightful.com
Moppelgangers.
Yes, don't go there.
It's like the little wrestler buddies. Instead of getting that, you get a mop that I guess you could pose to look like somebody.
There you go.
So there you go, everybody. That was the original thing. I wonder if this is actually going to be explained twice on the rebroadcast, but who knows? Who cares? Here we are.
Who cares? You deserve a double dose of Moppelgangers if that's the case.
You do.
And if it's not the case, I'm impressed by your own summary because that was a lot of mop dog to explain in a very short amount of time. But get in those super chats, get in those humper chats. We're going to dive into this extremely medium episode of NXT, which I honestly was kind of surprised by because I thought it was going to be a statement one way or the other. And this was one of the most their episodes I think I've ever seen. But we did kick it off with Pretty Deadly. And I believe there is...
This is so funny. Just lost forever.
Weird. Oh, no.
Kishara says, nothing on YouTube until that 4-minute mark. No way to get the stuff for it doesn't exist. Unless, I guess, you go back and watch the Twitch. Can you watch a Twitch on demand? I don't know.
Twitch or the Twitter guy, I think, too, on Periscope or whatever. So.
Maybe. I don't know.
I just checked my DMs to see if Sean was like, hey, you did something wrong setting up the broadcast, but that was just a weird little glitch.
That was all YouTube's fault. Kate's Chicken Tenders Jam Beard says, is that Moppy's grumpy uncle? No, it's Sean Mopsap. It's been explained.
Eating leather.
Eat leather.
I got scoops for you, Marks.
Alpha Bill says, this day every year is a real depressing day for me. I made the show inside the show, Mop Talk. Mop Talk is always here for you on your depressing days. We always love Mop Talk.
I'm sorry you're having a sad day.
Yeah, it's too bad. I don't like that for you, Alpha Bill. Alpha Bill's one of our favorites.
He is, but you know what? We're real good at picking up. I don't mean us. I mean the Sour Graps Society is real good at picking up the spirits of our set-in today. So
yeah. JW Pringle says, to all of the SGS, the amazing pop-up Paul Elizabeth, the one true Alex, with the bangs that run the place, Kate Elizabeth. Council of Marks, ladies of cease and desist, much love and happiness to all. Thank you, JB Pringle. And of course, your father responds as well. Paul Elizabeth says, to Sir Pringles, Keem Kalex, the council, the sisters cease. I just wanted to say, good luck. We're all counting on you. Well, listen, I'm sorry. It's not going to work out for you.
I just want to wish you both
your vote of confidence, but this figurative plane is going down in flames, and there's nothing to save it.
I appreciate my dad's airplane reference. He's the best.
Yeah. Daisy Ruth sends in a humper chat, says, for Kate's adoption fund from my fiance and I, owners of 2 senior cats, whenever you're ready for that. We love you. Love and appreciate you both. We were watching you when the power went out during the storm, of course, but we were lucky.
Oh, well, thank you so much. And I hope Daisy is in Florida. So I hope you are okay. I hope you're safe. I hope all your belongings are good. She's also a fellow Steelers fan. So I'm just going to thank you for sending in the chat. I'm going to send condolences right back as we suffer through this season, unless Kenny Pickett is a miracle child.
NXT was supposed to have a new era, Kate. This new show, a new show for a new season. It's spooky season, so it's a new show for a new season. And there's the old refrain in the classic song by The Who, which is meet the new boss, same as the old boss. We'll meet the new show, same as the old show, because 2.0 is 3.0 is the same thing. Also, in bringing up The Who, I'd also say the what and the where and the why. All of these questions need to be asked. The how, because what, mostly the what. I don't even know why this. Why was this on television? What? None of any of this made any sense to me.
No,
in the slightest. It was just a bad. I don't know, man. It's weird.
Again, like not even bad. Almost implies that you did something that you tried and failed. Right. Yeah. This was just there. Also, right on your T-shirt, right under the "I'm not lazy" part, it looks like it matches the top of the Sour Graps logo when you can only see the.
Yeah. I'm not lazy. I'm saving energy.
I love that.
That's my Pumbaa shirt. It could be I'm not lazy. I'm a member of WWE Creative, which actually is the same thing. But
I was gonna say that's usually extremely lazy. But the thing that kind of I was confused by was I feel like if I was a lapsed fan of NXT Black and Gold, I would be like, oh, Triple H is in charge again. They're rebooting this. Let me tune in. And then the first thing I would see, Alex, would be 2 people that look like the King from Hamilton giving a State of the Commonwealth address. And, I would either immediately tune out, or if I was like, let me stick out the episode, there's not a lot in this episode that would make me think I got to tune in next week. Save some parts of the main event were good. And the thing that I thought had the most potential to grab people was Duke Hudson and Julius Creed. I thought that was going to be so good. And then it was like 3 minutes long, Alex. What are we doing?
40 seconds, if that. If it was 40 seconds, goodness. I'll eat my hat. It was oh my god, it was okay. So they come out and they're dressed as old-timey London barristers. Legit. They got little gavels. They got the white wigs on.
Party City, and they got.
I mean, it is spooky season, so you can find costumes anywhere. So let them dress up as whatever you want all month, I guess.
I just love that you keep pronouncing the SZN abbreviation. Yeah. You're very hip.
I am. I hashtag spooky season. CEO says an airplane reference. Surely you can't be serious. And your dad says, I am serious and don't call me Shirley. So
my dad knows.
That's good. So anyway, they say a bunch of nothing about nothing. And then they try and roast the other tag teams in NXT. And they're like, the creeds are boring. We've already beaten the Double Vest and the Beach. Their number you call is 1-800 ugly denim. That was a joke written in 1997. Like what were like 1-800 jokes last a thing? Like I don't know, ridiculous. Then they said that oily abs and sweater vest, which is a really great name for Idris Elba. Elba, my God.
Idris Elba, professional wrestler.
Idris Enofe and Malik Blade are Idris Elba. I would. This is got to be a Freudian slip because I would love to see.
He'd be great.
Idris Elba take off a sweater vest to reveal oily abs. Who wouldn't? It's Idris Elba.
I mean,
my
come
God.
on.
But
I'm the target audience for such a thing.
I don't know what are we even doing here. But like this was them playing the dozens with people who weren't there, and then they get interrupted by Ridge and Butch, by the Brawling Brutes, and they challenged them to a match for later tonight for the tag titles, and I was like, oh, so that match will be good for 12 to 14 minutes, and then Imperium will run in and cost the Brawling Brutes the match.
Yeah.
Hopefully, Imperium will run in, attack the Brawling Brutes so that we don't have to watch either one of them get pinned by Pretty Deadly, who I'm done with at this point. Like the thing about Pretty Deadly, the Yes Boys, is that now I can only see them as their Moppelganger selves. And that's right there on the left. That's obviously blonde Yes Boy, and on the right is brunette Yes Boy. I don't know their names for real, but that looks just like them, and you can't tell me otherwise. We now have Moppelganger Yes Boys. There you go.
I want them to each be wearing a third of a shirt.
Yeah. Okay. Side plate check. It's perfect, right? I mean, it's.
I feel like with this segment, and we'll leave them up as we talk about the Yes Boys.
Yes, yeah. Let's talk about them.
I feel like they're now trying to force them into being an adjacent version of the Fashion Police.
I mean,
like this,
weird. I don't know what it is.
It's like WWE just can't write flamboyance. Like they cannot write flamboyance well at all. So it feels very much like them running down the rest of the roster and them coming out in this ridiculous attire felt very much like they were trying to recapture the magic they had with Fashion Police with this, and you can't recapture that. Like that was so much because of who was involved. That was so much Tyler Breeze and Fandango. So, and it feels just a little bit more forced. Like they were fine when they just came over. Like, I think there's a weird thing with the developmental where sometimes, especially coming over from the UK, there's been talent that has been squeaky clean in the ring, Alex. They've been mopping the floor with some of this US talent. You know what I mean? They've been wringing out the dirty water in NXT, one might say. But because it's developmental, they feel like there's sometimes this extra step where they have to tinker with it when they really might just be main roster ready as they are. Yeah. This feels like why I would never want Dalton Castle to go to WWE. Like they can't get it to translate to network television for whatever reason. So that is mopping the floor with Alex and Kate. God, we just drool.
Yeah. I don't know. It's weird. It is odd. But anyway, listen.
No, Bill, look, I know you're having a tough day, so I feel bad doing this, but it's Madcap Mop. Right? I don't mean to. I'm not trying to flex when you're having a rough day, Bill. You know we love you, but it's Madcap Mop.
It's Madcap Mop, but I do love this one. John Mopley. John Mopley is fantastic. Alpha Bill, that's an A+. John Mopley. I gotta find it. I gotta find a mop that looks like John Mopley.
Get in all of your mop puns.
You know what it is? It's just a regular mop, but it's half of it is covered in blood. Like that's basically that's just John Mopley.
Blades constantly, and I want him to, the Mox T-shirt that just looks like it's like burnt orange spray paint that says Mox. I just wanted to say mop. Unscripted, clean.
Sean Mopples and Moppy Genetti, the Moppers.
That's a good one. I like it.
It's good. Okay. So our main event is made right then. We're gonna get the main event is Butch and Ridge losing somehow pretty deadly because Imperium run in and stop the match or cause the match to go in pretty deadly's favor. That finish was as sure as the match beginning.
Yeah.
If the match begins, the end is Imperium runs down and ruins it.
Which I don't like.
And to me, if that's the way you're going to book the match, as obviously as that ending is, then just have it last 2 minutes, and then that's as opposed to the 15 minutes of a bunch of nothing that actually it's a waste. It's a waste of time. We're just waiting for the eventual thing.
You guys are funny with your mop puns.
Mopez Ford is good.
Mopez Ford is fantastic. Mm-hmm. I fully admit my optimism is that of an idiot. I was like, oh, cool. They sent down the Brawling Brutes. Like maybe this whole episode is going to be like NXT Black and Gold mainstays just for one night only to usher in that. No, I was incorrect. And there was very little announced about this episode going into it. So
there was a whole bunch of stuff that was supposed to be on the show, but it just they moved the Nathan Frazier and
again, they keep
moving that Axiom match until next week. That was supposed to be tonight.
Do you think
they moved it again?
Do you think because Bob's his uncle, like maybe there was something with the hurricane, he had to go help his Uncle Bob?
Yes, no, it's true. His Uncle Bob needed him for the week. Seth freaking Moppins is very good. Mophausen, very clean, very tidy. It's very good. Swiffer me, Daddy Mop. Swiffer me is really good.
It is.
Anyway,
you gotta pay money for this.
Yeah.
Alpha Bill paid money. You gotta pay money.
So does this mean that Perry Saturn and Moppy, procreated? Is possible. So anyway, finally, the mop has come back to SGS. That's really good. This one
wasn't paid for, but I have to call it out because mop beware. And Frankie the mop caw.
Right, yeah, Frankie the mop caw. TNA for Life sends in a super chat. Thank you so much. Says nothing seemed to change tonight, aside from ditching the 2.0 and the tie-dye. Looks like we're getting more of the same, more rookies and lots of weirdness. Y'all are the only thing keeping me watching. Thank you, TNA for Life. I guess, but thank you, and we're sorry. If we're the only reason that you watch every week, I apologize.
I only apologize a little because I'm also the only reason we watch every week, but we get paid for it, so I feel bad.
Yeah, that's true. Tom LaValle says, sorry to hear 3.0 started off poorly. I myself am not feeling it today. Enjoy the Moppelgangers, y'all. Hashtag SGS for Life. Yes, we will all enjoy the Moppelgangers.
There's a few people having really hard days in the chat, so we're all going to take a collective cleansing breath.
Yeah. There you go.
See? And now we're going to talk about wrestling.
Yeah. Orion Ben here we go. Says positive. Carmelo versus Oro, Ilya promo, the Gentleman Express, which we'll talk about. The announce table being moved back to its regular position. Negative. Just about everything else. I can't even put Wendy as a positive, and I love her. Damn. Thanks, Sour Graps. Let's have fun. Yes, thank you, Orion Ben. Let's have fun. We got a little scenelet of Toxic Attraction pulling up to the arena in a in an SUV, and out get JJ and Gigi, Gigi Dolan and Jace Jane. And Jace Jane says, "Yeah, the champ is here, baby." And up runs Alba Fyre with her bat, and she bops her in the stomach and smacks her, and then she jumps in the SUV and drives away. So my thing is, here's the deal. There are only two options. Mandy Rose was driving the SUV, or they have a driver who is the SUV, like an Uber driver or something. So Alba Fyre jumps in the van, and Mandy Rose drives away with Alba Fyre in the van, or the driver just motors away without letting the rest of everybody in the party get out of the thing. So none of those things are possible. So Mandy Rose, I don't know, not available. So they couldn't do the 3-on-3 advertised match that was advertised. This was the taped episode?
Was it?
I thought it was a taped episode. I
thought the last two of the 2.0 era were, and then tonight was live. I thought.
Yeah. Oh, this was live. Okay, this was live. Fine.
I do still want to leave the door open for the fact that Florida was underwater, and so there also still might have not been talent fully available, but this was bad anyway.
It was bad anyway. Like if you, I mean,
but listen, like Mandy might have been missing from this because of that. You know what I mean? Like I'll leave
absolutely. Who knows? They are in the Orlando area, which was not untouched by this, but they're still able to show the show, run a live show from the Orlando arena. I don't know where Mandy Rose lives, but it would be very odd for her to not be able to get from somewhere in Florida to another place in Florida over a matter of days. But whatever.
Her of anybody, because she was constantly in the pool. You think she would at least be able to swim there?
Yeah. If everything's flooded, you know she's got it covered.
In her element.
The NXT mopping lop. Crime mops up. Says Orion Ben.
Sounds like that's better than summer breaking.
Yeah, it is true. So it turns into instead of a 3-on-3, which they painstakingly tried to give us last week with a well, it looks like it's only 3-on-2, and Alba Fyre's like, let me light this giant trail of gasoline and nearly light all of my fellow workers on fire. Now that doesn't matter because since Alba Fyre apparently kidnapped Mandy Rose from the parking lot, nobody's concerned about that, by the way.
Yeah,
nobody's concerned about that at all.
Does this gal have to commit between the arson and the assault with a bat and the kidnapping? I feel like somebody should be like, hey, you know what? This goes beyond wrestling a little bit.
It does. It should. But like, oh, well, I guess instead we're going to have a tag team match. And just because the winner of that tag team match is the new number 1 contenders is what they announce. And there we go. So
that's it.
It
made a little bit of sense, at least from the fact that it's like, former champions are a test. It wasn't already against the people with the title. So I didn't hate it, but it was just very smooshed together.
So Carmelo Hayes faced Oro Messiah. Excuse me, I mean Oro Mensa. And in a match that was set up last week. So Oro Mensa after tonight is 1-1, and he's got a shot at the NXT North American Championship at Halloween Havoc because he lost this match, and the match was very good. A lot of really good stuff to say about the match. However, the finish continues to be the finish of every Carmelo Hayes match, and I'm done with it. He's good enough to win matches on his own. He has to be. You have to let him be. Because we should mention also there was a 3-man booth tonight. Vic Joseph couldn't get through customs. Said Wade Barrett. I don't know, is he Canadian? So Vic Joseph wasn't there, and they had the kid. I don't even know his name, but he appears to be literally 12 years old, and he is the guy who does Level Up. I don't know his name, but but he was there, and then they added Byron Saxton because they thought that the kid from Level Up couldn't hold his own with Wade Barrett there. I don't know what the hell was up, but we got a 3-man group with Byron Saxton there for some reason. But Wade Barrett says at the end of this match, that's why Carmelo Hayes is the best. And I said out loud to my TV, because his friend is always there cheating on his behalf? That can't be why he's the best, is it? That's dumb. Why would that be why he's the best? Couldn't you write something else so that's not why he's the best? I mean, it is why he's the best, but that sucks for him and for all of us because Trick Williams shoves him out of the way, so Trick Williams gets kicked, and then Oro Mensah, because he's a dum-dum, stands there and goes, oh, I guess I kicked the wrong guy, turns around slowly into a code breaker, and then gets the axe kick from the top rope. And so he is now 1-1 in 2 matches, but gets a title shot. Listen, you don't have to, I mean, should Carmelo Hayes be losing matches? No. But I would argue just don't put these guys in a match together if one of them's got to lose. I don't love
it. Vic Joseph is on his honeymoon. He is married to Mackenzie Mitchell, which is good for them. 3-man booth was a little weird, but not the worst tonight. The in-ring was really good at this. The in-ring was very good on this. My issue with the ending is similar to yours. I don't like it because Carmelo's not a chicken shit heel. He's not an MJF type. Like he's arrogant and thinks he can win in any circumstances. So he shouldn't be cutting corners. But at the same time, then you are neutralizing Trick. Like that's kind of the issue is what's his purpose if they're not going to eventually split them. My other issue with the ending of this is how many people... It just goes back to wins and losses, I guess. Like how many people that have been there for a long time. Like Nathan Frazier should be getting a shot at the North American title. You know what I mean? Or like Axiom at this point, because we all know he was actually a kid.
Right.
So I don't know. I just feel like but then at the same time, you're bringing in someone new and you want them to feel important. It's just a tricky thing in wrestling, but you're right in that a title shot to a guy who's 1-1 is like, have him squash some people. Mm-hmm. Have him squash some level up nerds.
And mops your uncle.
Oh no, that's so
good. So yes, Vic is in Italy where he just got married. That's the border issue he's having coming back from there.
There you go.
Fine. It is weird. Like I'm not going to be the asshole, but I am going to be the asshole. Literally, they just took like 3 weeks off. You couldn't have gotten married and taken your honeymoon during that time.
Well, they probably planned their wedding longer than 3 weeks ago.
I don't know. It's just weird. Yes.
Come on.
Right.
Vic Joseph can have a week off TV. Let's relax.
He can. It was just I didn't love Wade Barrett left to his own devices with Byron Saxton, who's never good, and this kid who couldn't get a word in edgewise. Apparently his name is Sudu Shah. I've never seen him. When he was standing there, I was like, did they let a child come in and call that? Did he win a contest? Was there a sweepstakes I was unaware of? Because I'd never seen him before and he looked very small.
It's true. Alex, you know what feels like winning a contest from time to time?
What is that?
It just feels like you won something special when you find a delicious cereal that's packed with protein.
Yeah, but such a thing doesn't exist.
Alex, what if I told you such a thing does exist in the
I wouldn't believe you. I would think you were lying.
Oh, so you won't believe me, but you'll believe Sean Ross Sapp?
Do you like cereal but hate all the junk that's associated with it? Well, MagicSpoon.com/Fightful has you covered. Save $5 off your order when you get a custom bundle, custom box right now. 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, only 4 net grams of carbs per serving. Only 140 calories per serving. Keto-friendly, grain-free, soy-free, low-carb, and gluten-free. And right now you can build your own box. Not just right now. anytime. Blueberry, cinnamon, honey nut, maple waffle, cookies and cream, cocoa fruity frosted peanut butter, all the flavors you loved growing up. And how about this? A money-back guarantee. If for some reason you don't like it or you just want your money back, MagicSpoon.com/Fightful does that. Not only is it great in the mornings, it's great for a snack throughout the day, a midnight snack as well, without having all those carbs and unhealthy parts of cereal. MagicSpoon.com/Fightful.
Now do you believe us, Alex? Now do you believe us?
I do.
Well, thank God, because you can use the code Fightful and get yourself a big juicy discount. And with the money you're saving, you can head over to Fightful Select and you can get your scoops. You can find out who the long-term director of creative in WWE is now. You can find out more about Gargano and Candice's return. You can find out what wasn't materializing for Cody Rhodes, which you might have thought was materializing for Cody Rhodes. But more importantly, you can get the origin of our Doppelganger story over at Fightful Select. You can also get Alex always every Monday and Friday. Oftentimes I try and join in when I can on Fightful Select, and you get us with the paywall pay-per-view premium live event, whatever, post shows, which you will be getting for Extreme Rules this weekend. So if you like Team Kalex, you can get a little bit more of us behind the paywall, and of course, more scoops coming out of there, even though Sean has the nerve to take some time off. That doesn't mean the scoops aren't still rolling down the mountains, my friends. So thank you to everybody who has subscribed. You guys are awesome. And your support, whether you send it in via Fightful Select, Super Chat, or Humper Chat, Twitch bits, thumbs up, whatever. It's all very, very much appreciated because it keeps this little engine running. So we appreciate
Very
you.
true. Thank you.
Oral Messiah.
Mapakai Black and the House of Mop.
I know what Matthew Plus is going for there, but it's simply untrue.
It doesn't work. Paul Elizabeth, you're an even worse mopper. No, it doesn't work. Sorry, it doesn't work.
Doesn't work because my dad rules.
That's also a reason it doesn't work, but also other things. Von Wagner defeated Chase, Andre Chase. Thank God. You will. That's the one and only time you'll ever hear me say that about a Von Wagner win. Thank God. Someone is eventually going to have to explain to me why Andre Chase is a thing and a thing that is over. I don't understand, but whatever. I didn't watch it. I couldn't. I was making my daughter's. It would make me too angry to watch a match where I actively had to root for Von Wagner. So I had it on in the living room, and in our open concept, I was over in the kitchen making my daughter's lunch for tomorrow for school. So I heard it, and apparently Thea Hale did something to Mr. Stone, which everybody really liked. And then because Andre Chase is an idiot, isn't he supposed to be a smart guy? He's supposed to be like a professor. He teaches people, right? So he's an idiot who wanders over and watches Thea Hale body slam Robert Stone. And then Von Wagner sneaks up behind him and wins the match. What are we doing?
This is just awful. Von Wagner should win to go on to the ladder match because it's a better call. But do you know how bad it is when that's the better call? Not to mention, I don't like JCU. I'm not here for Mop University, as our lovely Julie Cutler is saying in the chat. She joins Sean for post shows on pay-per-views a bunch. So shout out to Julie and give her some support. But I'm not into Chase U, but for some reason people are, and they're not someone you can book heat on much longer, because if you book heat on somebody that was supposed to be getting heat for a really long time, this just doesn't work. So it's you're eventually going to have to give the crowd what they want at some point. Otherwise, you're just going to run this into the ground even more so. So I hated, I sat there who could possibly care? This was an impression of myself at whatever this was, 8:38 p.m. or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Scene.
There you go. Thank you. Very good. Quite good. Alpha Bill says, no puns, just replace Robert Stone with a mop. There you go.
He did something in this match, which is the first time I can say that in his entire managerial career.
A small woman walked around with him on her shoulders and then body slammed him. And that counts as doing something for Robert Stone, which is a true statement. And oh my God, think about that.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Andre Chase is over, says JB Pringle, because he provides quality education at affordable prices. Get a doctorate in moponomics in 4 Saturdays for $35. There you go.
What are the costs compared to a doctorate in thugonomics?
I don't know. I'm not really sure. I don't know if he offers that. Julie Cutler says Andre Chase gives me some Tom Green vibes, which is not untrue. That's what he looks like.
I can see that. I can see that for sure.
So Carmelo Hayes stuck around because he's allowed to, I guess, to be on commentary for this. And then at the end, Wes Lee leaped over the announce table to beat him up. And that was it.
Okay.
Later, Wesley gets interviewed, and he's like, "Yeah, well, I mean, I did attack him, but that guy tried to crush my skull in a locker room door, so I think I was allowed a little payback." And then
that's a very fair point.
Yeah, it is a very fair point. And then up walks Channing, stacks Lorenzo. And Channing says, that wasn't nice what you did to the boss. He's got his PCL's going this way, everything else is going that way. We know how to make things look like an accident, but we know you did that on purpose. So that's got consequences. I'm going to face you next week. I do not think that the Tony D'Angelo family works with just Channing as the representative. So I'm hoping what this is Wesley gets a good victory and Channing goes away as well as Tony. And when Tony comes back at full strength, he's got a whole family with him. Like, I know you've got enough name, image, and likeness football players in the back. Just put them in like a vaguely mob-ish type attire and have Tony D'Angelo, when he comes back, have like 6 or 7 guys that he just sends out randomly to cause havoc. That's fine. Like, the only guy who talks can be Channing, Stacks, Lorenzo. Or if you find a guy who's good at it, get that guy too. But I don't think the whole thing works. Like, prayers up for Tony D. I want him to come back as soon as possible. I love the idea, if he can do it, of him walking around backstage with a cane or something. You know what I mean?
Ooh, yeah.
Like, it'd be kind of cool. But until then, I'm not really sure.
I want to see Carmelo and Wes with, I don't know, it didn't click in the way I thought it would the first time around, so I would like to see a second go of it. I would like it to be for the title. I agree with you about Stacks, who his graphic is Stacks, which is great.
It's better that he's just Stacks than he is Channing, Stacks, Lorenzo.
I can't think of anybody. I know Channing Tatum and Stalker Channing are the Channings that come to mind. Yep. He's representative of neither. I think you're right. Tony D either needs a full-on group or he needs to be with nobody. Mm-hmm. Like, his family bailed on him and whatever. I also want to see Legato on the main roster real bad. So,
yeah, I don't know what the holdup is with that.
I'm wondering that screams Survivor Series situation. Like, I'm wondering if after, well, if we go with your idea that the bloodline is not in the War Games match, like, I think you could, between Extreme Rules and Survivor Series, set up a multi-man match between those two factions. That could be a very, very fun story, especially with Solo being up there, right? But I think if they moved from NXT, they probably have a plan with them.
Right.
It could also be Los Lotharios is joining, whatever. We'll see. But I miss seeing Santos Escobar on my television, so selfishly I would like to see that. But as far as this goes, this is fine. It was also just there tonight.
Yeah, it was just so
like
much
I'm way more entertained by our mop jokes.
Yeah, me too.
Now, in our defense, the mop jokes are pretty great. So it's like you need a really, really strong episode.
Yeah.
Because we
we got a backstage thing where Sangha is very upset because he lost to Von Wagner a little while ago, and Nathan Frazier gives him a pep talk. It's like, it's all right. I mean, I had a couple of matches. I lost my first match versus Axiom, and I thought, oh no, now I've got to win 2 in a row. How is that possible? But then I won my next match. But now all I've got to do is win 1 more. So that's what you've got to do. You got to get back on that horse, and you'll be fine. And Sangha says, "I hope you win the North American Championship." And he's like, "Well, thanks. That made my day." And he walks away because he's a little dopey Labrador retriever.
He is. He's a golden retriever. That dude is just like, he's kind of Cena-y in persona.
Mm-hmm. And then Sangha standing there, and Veer walks up. Well, thank you, Julie. I appreciate it.
Julie's not always in here on Tuesday, so it's fun that she's getting exposed.
Wait until the end, because there'll be a lot of things to do.
Oh my dear.
Fyre just walks up to Sangha in a suit, and Sanga's there in his suit, and they look at each other like, I see you are also a man of means. Like, it was just this very odd. I see you are also a man of culture. Ah, a suit, indeed. There was nothing. I mean, like that was your big reunion. Like they didn't talk to each other or anything. But like, listen, if we get, as people have said, the Gentleman Express, I'm so into it.
Yes.
If we get anything resembling Indus-Share, no. Please God, no. But I think that Veer and Sangha each have a lot to offer in the big athletic department, and I love the idea of them as 2 like Indian playboys who are independently wealthy. Like, they could do whatever they want with their lives. They have all the money they could ever need. What do they want to do? Beat somebody up. I think that's a really cool thing for them as a gimmick. And I would not mind them running with that for a while. That's all I got to say about it.
I agree with you. I think it's so funny because Maximum Male Models obviously became something that was extremely comedic. But these 2 guys have like the charisma and the suave disposition and just the overall milieu of 2 dudes that you would actually kind of want for something like that. Like, they're authentically very cool, so that would be really nice. But Alex, let's call it what it is, okay? We made a lot of jokes. Nobody made more jokes than Jeremy Lambert, the recently wed Jeremy Lambert, about how long it took for Veer to come to Raw and how hard it came when he. Yeah. But sometimes, maybe it took so long for him because he just needed a little assistance, Alex.
It's perhaps that's true.
He might have just needed a little help, but if he had been watching our show, he would know, because we would have told him all about Blue Chew.
Hello. Is your penis limp? Would you like it to be erect? Fortunately, BlueChew.com and the code Fightful is going to help you out an awful lot. Maybe you're having trouble with that. Maybe you just want the confidence. Well, BlueChew.com and the code Fightful is right for you. Free. Your first order is free. You just pay $5 shipping. There are a few other steps you go through. You consult with the online physician. If approved, it ships straight to your door in a discreet package. But your first shipment is free with the code Fightful. It's got the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, so you know they work. But they work on your schedule or whenever you're not ready and you want to be ready, whenever the mood arises. It's in a chewable form. Very easy, very simple. Help yourself out. Give yourself that confidence with BlueChew.com and the code Fightful.
So look, if you need to come to NXT, you need to come to Raw, you need to whatever, Blue Chew can help you get there, you know?
It's true. Case Chicken Tenders Jam Beer says, bring back Raijin Singh to manage a improved version of them as this Playboy tag team. Perhaps. You know who shouldn't? You know who never should have? Stokely Hathaway. Because that was not the right use of him at all.
It wasn't.
At all. So yes, I agree. So there is a few more here. Matthew Plus says, I want to wish everyone a good Yontif. I look forward to my first full Jewish calendar year of challenging Al and Katie. May the new year bring strength and enlightenment to those of you caught deep in the cult that is Sour Graps Society.
Well, thank you. Happy New Year to you too. Same.
And if you use Blue Chew code Fightful, says Chicken, but you too will need a mop for the afterwards.
We can't guarantee that, though. I want to make that very clear. We can't guarantee it's going to be mop worthy. I'm just saying.
The next thing we got Lash Legend coming out to talk some smack to Wendy Chu before her match, which didn't work. If you asked me what they were going to do with this, I thought for sure this was what they were doing with Wendy Chu now, which was to put over Lash Legend because they think Lash Legend has a future. And thank God I was wrong because Wendy Chu won this thing in like 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Moved on. Good. Good for Wendy Chu. I think she's great. Do you know Lash Legend's history?
I do not.
Before she came here, she decided to try wrestling because WNBA went on hiatus during the pandemic. So she was like, there's nowhere for me to play basketball, so I'm going to try being a wrestler. And like she had a bright future in the WNBA. And I assume she still does. Now, this is not like this is me saying if you are, as she is, the all-time leading rebounder in women's college basketball, I would think you could play professional basketball anywhere in the world. And you probably are better at that than this. So I would say now that the WNBA is back, go ahead and give it another shot. That's what I would say. And I wish you the best because that's a really awesome thing that you have in your background and that you're so good at that. And I think it sucks that the pandemic put a stop to that part of your career. And now the pandemic apparently is over, so saith the CDC, then you could just go right back out there and try it again.
I would imagine that is really tricky because if you want to make money in basketball, apparently you have to do it not in this country if you're a woman. So that's tricky. But yeah, I mean, I was relieved by the booking because I think maybe they see what we see, which is that, when you put it in that perspective too, she just has not been doing that this long. Like she's probably not. This is the NXT identity crisis of you have people that are main roster ready right now and people who need way more reps than Lash Legend have facing each other. So she just has a ways to go. She just, I think, is a lot further away than Wendy Chu is. I'll put it that way. And that's also not a bad thing because Wendy Chu is main roster ready right now. So this wasn't going to be a barn burner. I'm glad that I think this was the best case scenario for everyone involved. And I think Lash Legend just needs a lot more time.
She does. And I think that in the former version of NXT, she would have gotten all of that time.
Yes.
And she would be nowhere near television right now. Nowhere near it. She's not at that stage of her career. No. Now, like she's been doing this for not a very long amount of time, but also Tiffany Stratton has been doing it for not a very long amount of time. And Tiffany Stratton is way farther along in her development than Lash Legend is. Everybody develops at a different pace, which is why not everybody should be rushed onto television before they're ready.
Exactly.
And I don't blame her. I think that if she wants to do this, she should go train somewhere where she doesn't have to be on TV risking injury to people. Now, she's gotten better at that recently, and that's good. But there was some really rough stuff there in the early going that should have just raised a giant red flag for the people in charge and said, okay, we're going to pull you back. But
yeah, there was some stuff tonight that wasn't that great. Wendy Chu was just extremely good at this. So, like, even the finishing sequence wasn't great. But, yeah, it's tough because, like, everybody has different strengths and upsides, but you have to have certain, I think, baselines of all things. And she's not quite there. So, I don't know. I'm glad Wendy Chu is continuing to look strong. Great, though. Her sleepy short gear today I thought was really really fun.
Yeah,
she's a really special performer, man. Wendy's just great and has done everything they've asked her to do extremely well, including stuff like this, including carrying matches with people that are not as far along. I would love to see. I'm very curious to see Wendy Chu and Triple H's control, because control is the wrong word. Under
Kitaro.
His
Kitaro.
Yes. Under his guidance. But I think, because I feel like before it was, you had said it best, like, what is she on the main roster other than a 16-time 24/7 champion, which is not where her potential is. Her potential is reigning women's champion. Right. So where you go from here with her, I'm not sure. Maybe you do Dragon Chew it against my advisement. But I think everyone's aware of what she's capable of, because she's really damn good at this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Nurguru says, I have no notes, but damn, Wendy Chu. Respectfully. Very important.
Of course.
And Louise says, Wendy Chu under Triple Paul's Kitaro is Dragon Chew.
But she would pull it off. That's the frustrating thing, is I don't want it, but she would still make it work. That pesky Dragon Chew.
Gallus had a pre-recorded thing about how we didn't realize that the security was so soft here at NXT. We're sorry we knocked them all out with one punch. Yes, we got arrested. Now we've been suspended. But when we come back, we're coming for all the titles, they said. So,
how could you not have known that? Have you ever watched the show?
So Matthew Plus says, the only reason I send in Humper Chats is because the show is so pathetic that the RRS classifies it as charity donations so I can get tax credits. And then JW Pringle says, mighty minus, shalom and happy new year, you putts. And Matthew Plus says, mind your business, Jehovah's Witness Pringle.
That's quite good. Honestly, if you could write them off, I would say that's great. But I would argue that still might be possible because NXT is so bad that this should be a charity donation.
Yeah, there you go. That's true.
Good try.
We should be we're doing charity work by even talking about it.
We are right now, yeah. It was either pick up trash on the highway or this, man. I don't know.
The Electric Mayhem says the Moppledy Mopper.
Somebody has to find a mop that looks like a turkey now.
Yep. Okay. So the TikTok tag team does a pre-recorded thing about how they're best friends, which means they're going to lose the titles next week.
And split up immediately.
But like, we shouldn't even be friends. How are we friends? I mean, you're such a goody two-shoes, says Caden Carter.
I thought Katana Chance wasn't a goody two-shoes. I thought she drank whiskey, which meant she changed her whole identity.
If you know all the drama with her during during COVID and everything, not a goody two-shoes. Maybe the biggest stretch of the entire episode was them trying to pass off Casey Catanzaro as a huge goody two-shoes.
And that's there's a lot of things on this episode that stretched, man. So that's a big one.
Whatever, it's fine. Listen, I really don't care about these two. I never have. I don't care if they can stay champs forever or they can lose the matches the titles next week.
They're best friends, so of course they're going to.
I don't care.
I think Kaden has a lot of potential. She's been like good in the ring, and she's had a couple of promos when they're not these sit down pieces of crap about how much they love each other, where she's been able to deliver them. I don't think her being a tag champion is doing her any favors.
So now they get to watch the Proud Girls. I mean, Nikkita, Lyons and Zoey Stark face Toxic Attraction for the right to get the title shot. And like just call up Toxic Attraction. Just call them all up. Have Alba Fyre beat Mandy Rose at Halloween Havoc. Call the whole group up and be done with it. Because it is weird to eat. I guarantee you, next week we're going to have an interview with Gigi Dolan and JC Jane where they're going to say they're the top tag team in NXT again, even though they lost another match again. It just feels weird. You don't have you can't have your whole thing being like we're the best, okay, and then book them to lose a bunch of matches and have them continue to say that because it just feels weird.
Yes, and there was like something that didn't work. I was thinking about this while I was watching it. Because they only defended the tag titles like twice, but Mandy was more actively defending her title. Like it wasn't my favorite reign by any means, but she defended her title like on a pretty regular basis. So it was kind of like while you had the three of them holding all the gold, it felt like even though they weren't defending it, it still annoyed me, but like at least the prestige seemed there. And now that they don't have the gold, it's like, well, you didn't actually defend it all that much and you weren't that great. So like I'm great in the ring. Like they're, I think, two outstanding workers, but especially Gigi, my goodness. But it's like, who are you without your belts? Just walking around saying you're great anyway. They got to move on. There's just nothing. There's just not a lot left for them. And like, I feel that way about Mandy too. No fault of her own, but like, just kind of run through everyone. And there's just not a lot for her to get out of this title reign anymore. So, but I will say it did give the impression, I don't care about this triumvirate of ladies working together very much, but it did make it feel more important. Like it did make it seem like, because they beat Toxic Attraction, that meant something. So I guess that's like, it did something.
She's not Mandy Rose anymore. Now she's Moppy Rose, according to Case Chicken Tenders. And I don't know what's up with her. Obviously they're counting on her to wrestle for the title versus Alba Fyre at Halloween Havoc. So I hope she's okay. Not hurt or whatever's going on with her while she's not at the show. But Michael Dammit says, I like the commentary acknowledge that the NXT parking lot is a dangerous place.
Second week in a row they did that too, which is nice.
It's good. Yeah. So Case Chicken Tenders says, Moppy minus, leave Papa P alone. Papa Prinkle, I believe.
That's so fair.
We got.
I love it when folks come in the chat and we were talking about mops for 15 minutes of this episode. So like, we're untouchable, bro.
I like, honestly, like it's just the ridiculous thing to come into a show that is talking about NXT and how much it sucks and needs a complete overhaul, and just dropping in troll chats about how much AEW sucks. I'm like, I'm honestly, man.
Like we're talking moppelgangers here. You think you can disturb us? No,
it can't happen. So Nikkita and Zoey win. It's a decent match. Zoey hits her finisher, which is the coolest damn finisher in like all of NXT. But she has to, for some reason, run and like that finisher knocks out anybody she gives it to.
Yes.
She has to run over though and tag in Nikkita Lyons. So Nikkita Lyons can come into the ring and scream and do the splits with her butt in Gigi's face. And I don't understand why that has to be a part of the thing. So,
because it's now like Nikkita Lyons' greatest strength is her butt and her straight up bra that she was wearing with her. They weren't even connected in any way, her gear tonight, but this was a fine match, I guess. I think there's a huge gap between Zoey Starks and Nikkita Lyons. I don't know if that matters yet. But I think Zoey Starks is one of the hardest hitting women's wrestlers I've seen in a long time. Like maybe since Asuka, if I can think of it. Someone of her stature that hits that hard. Right. I think maybe since Asuka is a fair comparison. She hits real hard, dude. So But yeah, this was fine.
So yeah, we're gonna get Nikkita and Zoey versus the old TikTok tag team. Now the Ravers are best friends, part 2. So there we go.
So they're all friends. So somebody's splitting up next week.
Yeah. Matthew Plus says Moppeth. What's
Is that a Gareth reference?
Maybe must be Moppeth. There you go. I guess that's fine. It's good.
Do you know how dumb you have to be that Matthew Plus is like, I'm baby facing for this one? I can't even.
I'm gonna, as Carmelo Hayes said, he's gonna stunt on these hoes.
He is. Matthew Plus is going to stunt on these hoes.
Yeah,
that was 105.13 for those of you looking for the time mark.
Stunt on these hoes. There you go. So there's an amazing Ilya Dragunov vignette.
Yes, this ruled.
This is so great. Braun Breaker is a great champion, but he is a man, and I am a machine. And I almost called him by the name that he used when I faced him, but I will call him JD McDonough. He thinks he is all about pain, but he does not know pain. I am the pain. And you can call me whatever you want, but I am the champion. It was really good, actually. I think that Ilya Dragunov would be a great choice to be champion if you were going to call up Braun Breaker. Why do I feel like this is the least possible thing?
It's a bummer. It's because of the timing. It would just be a weird time to call up Braun Breaker right now. So I feel like Dragunov as a champion would absolutely rule. So there's that. But this vignette was really, really cool. I would love to see. Just like how goated can one be? My God, Allie. Alien Dragon Mop. Incredible work. But this vignette ruled. I would like to see that match very much, and I would like to see Dragunov win. I don't think he's gonna, just because the timing is wrong for Breaker to go up. But I think considering how stuck in the mud Breaker was, him now having opponents like Tyler Bate and Alien Dragunov is a very good thing for his reign. So if it's going to continue, that's the way to go.
Okay, we got the worst thing on the show.
Before we dive into that, please get in your super chats and humper chats now so that when we get to karaoke time, we're like ready to rock and roll. Right.
Thank you. Very good.
You're welcome.
The Grayson Waller effect.
Between two
with Roxanne and between two palms. With Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade. Cora Jade, I said this before, man. I said this to you. Why have we changed her bronzer to something darker? Like, that's intentional. You intentionally made her have darker skin. Why would you do that? Like, are we she looks in some of the photos they take of her, she looks like a living Bratz doll.
Yeah.
It's just very, very, the way she's made up and everything. This is the least convincing heel turn in a company that also features Spooky Shake, Dom Mysterio. Like, somehow he feels more authentically of a bad guy than she does, with her leather pants and her black kendo stick and her I have darker skin now. Like, what? Why?
It's real weird. This kind of happened with
weird.
Mandy too. Like, she's always been tanned, and obviously she's a different person after she became brunette. But like, sometimes the lighting and the effects and stuff, like, almost like it's not great.
No.
But she also this is just so not her. I think there's probably a heel version of her in there somewhere, but like, I feel like we took a step forward when she was running down the roster in that pre-tape, but like, this felt like a huge step back in both this promo. But it's also like she's stuck in the story that was terrible that turned her heel in the first place. Like, they're not done with the thing that was a botched heel turn out of the gate. So that's also a little frustrating. But it would just be nice if heel turns were about motivations and not, I don't have my particle board skateboard anymore, ergo I'm a bad girl.
Mm-hmm. And Roxanne Perez, man, she doesn't feel special anymore, does she? Like, in the least. And like, it was a major coup that NXT got her. Like, when like ROH, the former ROH left and she wasn't the champion anymore, and she decided, I'm going to go to one of these two places, and she chose WWE, which means she fell into NXT, and she's still very young, but it does not feel like they know what to do with her. They already did the dumb Bailey thing from 2016 or whenever it was, when she refused to use a kendo stick and then got it used against her to lose the match the first time. And she's just like, we decided we were gonna do this together, and then you decided not to anymore, and I don't like you, and we're gonna fight. And
it's just impossible. Like, she's also trapped in this same terrible angle, right? And then on top of that, I've seen Roxanne deliver good promos before. The most special thing about her is her in-ring storytelling and execution. So in a segment like this isn't great.
Doesn't help her.
The whole thing was weird. I get it that it was a Grayson Waller effect, but the palm tree set was weird. None of this felt like it was operating in the real world. Not a single moment of it.
I just love it. This is what I love her these girls so much.
In different rooms in the same home, watching the same show.
I'm sorry to say that I love it so much, but I do. I don't understand. Like, you have Roxanne, she has this amazing match versus Mako, and now she just every time you drag her back into this Cora Jade thing, she doesn't feel special anymore. Like, just have her win the match versus Cora Jade and move on and do other things. And like,
and what's tricky with it is she came in, she won the breakout tournament, she was automatically in a title picture and the tag title picture all at once, and now she's nowhere near anything. Anything. So you pushed her to the moon, and then you like Apollo 13 slungshot her around the other side of it and brought her home. Like, there's nothing. There's no heat to the feud, and she's not as prestigious as she was when she first got here, which is the opposite direction you want to be heading with talent, right? So
yeah. But Grayson Waller informs everybody next week.
Just want everyone to know Ellie's getting her charger.
Okay.
Right after Emily's pickle is eaten.
Okay. Pickle Mania 2.0. So we get Grayson Waller informing them that each of them get to choose their opponent's opponent next week. So the whole roster is available.
Spin a wheel about this?
No. This is Cora Jade gets to pick who Roxy's going to face, and Roxy gets to pick who Cora Jade's going to face. And like, what? But they can't, though, right? Because if they did, they would pick somebody other than who they're going to pick. Because, like, Roxanne's going to pick Dana Brooke or somebody. You know what I mean? Like, she's not going to pick the right person. She's going to pick, so we're going to get, maybe we'll get Cora Jade picking Shayna Baszler or something to face Roxanne. But then we're going to have to watch Shayna Baszler lose, and that'll be interesting. But, like, who is she going to pick? Who is in character Roxanne Perez going to pick that they're actually going to let come back down from Raw to face and lose to, importantly, Cora Jade? Because I don't honestly like Natty.
I was gonna say Natalya. I'm sincerely nervous of anybody in the WWE universe that she could get her hands on. She's gonna pick Cora Jade anyway. They would run something that stupid.
No. Maybe I'm misstating this. Your runner's misunderstanding me. Cora Jade gets to pick who Roxanne Perez faces next week.
Right, I think
Roxanne
they're going to
Perez,
both pick each other.
No, but they already have the match that they're going to face each other at Halloween Havoc in the Spin the Wheel Make the Deal match.
Oh, okay. This whole thing is confusing.
Yeah. Xia Li, Lacey Evans, these are all good shouts. These are all good things.
It can't be Lacey Evans.
It's Aaliyah. Each of them is going to pick Aaliyah for the other person to beat. There you go.
Why would you set up an easy victory for someone else?
So, anyway, Grayson Waller spins the wheel because it's spin the wheel, make the deal match. But you don't spin the wheel, make the deal because one of you has to spin. Somebody else spinning the wheel doesn't actually work. Usually you have to figure out who's going to be the one of the two of you to spin the wheel so the deal gets made. But they didn't do that. And also it's got to happen on the night of instead of this. But anyway, he spins the wheel and it's a Weapons Wild match. So it's just a hardcore match. This is a hardcore match where weapons are legal, so you could have called it anything.
Well, you know what though? Halloween Havoc is supposed to be the dumbest, gimmickiest thing in the world. Nobody knew what a Minder's Glove match was. Nobody knows these things. So, some good suggestions in the chat too. Indy Mopwell, of course. Mapel Rodriguez, also a great shout. So some good options there. Yeah, this whole segment was just wasn't good. It just was not good. And I kind of was in the position of wanting Cora Jade to turn heel because I thought her and Roxanne were too similar, and it's not.
Well, yeah, but they could do that after having been tag champs
for a while,
for 3 months, and we could watch the rift grow between them each week. That was why the thing between Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano worked so well, is because they built that thing up over a year, and you could see the wheels turning in Tommaso Ciampa's head after every loss, after every setback, after every time Johnny got a singles opportunity that he didn't get. You could see him change over time. And that's what you do. You don't do we just became tag champs and
a minute ago.
No.
Yeah.
So Roxy picks Mako and Cora picks Davenport. Is Blair Davenport still in the States? Is Mako still in the States?
Good question.
Roxy picking Miko would be great, except for Miko has to win that match. And I think you want Cora Jade and Roxanne to each win their matches, which is why that wouldn't be the way you do it. So during this thing, there's a fake IG Live comments. You can tell because all of the comments are praising Grayson Waller, so we know that they're fake. But during it, DNC Digital says that Gacy commented a white rabbit emoji. Joe Gacy did during the IG Live. Do you feel he's dropping a hint or just playing along with rumors? Playing along with rumors, because there's no friggin' way Joe Gacy is the white rabbit, or all of wrestling fandom will revolt.
Yeah.
That's not a chance. Yeah.
Unless he's going up with Bray, unless he's absorbed into it somehow. But no, this is Bray's return.
Yeah, I know Joe Gacy actually did it, but the rest of the comments were all fake.
Right, yes.
So there was a backstage, speaking of Joe Gacy. Oh, I forgot about this. There was a guy standing in a druid costume up by the wheel for no reason, and Grayson Waller had to go and check and see if it was Apollo Crews. And the way he did that was that he lifted his sleeve to show that it was a white guy. Whatever. Then Grayson Waller got attacked by Apollo Crews, who crawled out from underneath the ring like Dexter Lumis or Hornswoggle. And at that point, there was a pull apart brawl in the ring between Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade, two women who neither of whom could weigh 125 pounds. They're both very small women.
They're
and two giant security guards each could not hold them back. Like at that point, you are straining credulity. I feel like there was that one dude who's like 5'8" and 300 pounds of solid bare-chested muscle with a ponytail. That dude will just pick one up on each shoulder and walk out with them. There's no reason why he's struggling to contain Roxanne Perez, but he pulls. Apollo Crews pulls Grayson Waller under the ring, and Grayson Waller crawls back out with his eyes just dripping blood, and it looked like so. Wait! Apollo Crews dragged a man under the ring and gouged his eyes out. That's crazy. And then the feed cuts to backstage, and we
had no time to process anything.
Wait a minute. Like Apollo Crews is like stalking a crawling Grayson Waller who's screaming because his eyes have been gouged out. And Apollo Crews is like, "Oh, Grayson, does it hurt? Grayson, does it hurt?" Let's cut to backstage. You don't get to leave that. That's a major plot development. Why are we doing this? Oh my God.
You know, if somebody's bleeding like that, you might have to just like mop it up. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You gotta call in the cleaner to mop up all that blood.
To mop it up.
But yeah, this was very awkward.
The backstage thing is that the red hooded person who is on the side of the schism is sitting there and getting yelled at by Joe Casey and the Dyad about how you're not doing good enough. Wait, what were they supposed to be doing? Like what? At what? What were they failing at? What are they doing wrong?
I'm dying for the red hooded figure to just be like Brie Bella. Why not?
That'd be crazy.
Swerve me. Let's do it.
So we the next time we see them after the break, I guess, Cameron Grimes comes out and is trying to talk some sense into the red hooded figure with the backpack. You don't have to take that from them. They're bad. Leave them. Go away. Don't have to be that with they're not allowed to talk to you like that. To the moon. And he gets jumped by the schism, who beat the hell out of him, smash him with a trash can, and then they say to the red hooded figure, "Good job. You did everything perfectly." What? By stand there and wait for Cameron Grimes to come out and try and give her a pep talk? What? None of this makes sense. It's the most ridiculous thing. I don't understand why we doing any of this. And then we're getting they hug and they walk. We still haven't found out who the person is. It's probably Isla Dawn. I don't know who it is.
Has to be. I don't know who else it would be. This is not good, and it's going to look a lot worse when Bray comes back. It is. He's the spook master. He's a spooky guy. He's the best at spooking.
Mm-hmm.
Spooking people out.
Ali Cease says, "Bree mode! Mop, 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 mop." So we got backstage. We got to see them checking out the shoulder of Brutus, as though he was injured by the chair shots from Damon Kemp 5 minutes prior. They're checking him out for the first time. Like, oh my God, this is a lot of bruising. I don't think we can clear you. Like it's so strange credulity whenever they like look at a guy when the trainer gets to look at a guy who got injured last week for the first time. Right now, I'm like, bullshit. Please don't make me call bullshit.
I'm like, CM Punk had a point. Y'all are negligent.
Right.
I can only describe his bruising pattern as a reverse Cody Rhodes. He had all of Cody's pec bruising just on the back.
Right. So we get Duke Hudson for the first time in what? Months? Have we seen him since August? And I like Duke Hudson. I really do. I think he's a really good promo. I think he's tall, handsome dude. You could do a lot with him, right? And they haven't done anything with him. And I was like, okay,
great talker.
Yeah, great talker. Great talker. Very natural.
Yes.
I mean, he could literally just quit all of this tomorrow, go back to Australia, and act in Australian television for the rest of his life. Like he's just he's really
even when they were doing that poker bullshit, he was pulling out the like "luck is for losers" reference.
Yeah.
That I like him. I think he gets it more than he's being showcased to, even when he was being showcased, and now he's just not even showcased.
Right. So he comes in and says a lot of mean stuff to Brutus and to Julius, and Julius says, "I'm not here. I'm not messing around now. I'm gonna get a match for us tonight." And Duke's like, "Okay, fine." And so they have the match, and Julius just murders Duke Hudson. I love Julius Creed. You know this. I think he is like a mega star in the making if they can find him the right manager until he learns how to talk right.
Yeah.
Like he's incredible in the ring. Like he's so athletic, so strong. He's got a really good look, all American type thing. Like there's some really cool stuff they could do with him. And yet I still think they did Duke Hudson the dirtiest they've ever done anybody.
Well,
like he got squashed.
The whole thing with this too was it was supposed to feel so personal. Like somebody tried to make fun of your brother for getting physically assaulted, kind of. Like, you can't really build heat with a squash match. Like that just doesn't work. It doesn't feel like the tension is there, the blow-off's there, because it hasn't had any time to develop it. So I just, if you needed Julius to squash someone, I don't think Duke Hudson was the guy. And additionally, I'm very interested in a 7 to 8 minute match, 12-minute match between Duke Hudson and Julius Creed. I would have liked to have seen that a lot more than the other schlock we saw on TV tonight.
Right. So he just murders him it's like 40 seconds. And then Brutus comes out, who has been warned by Julius to stay backstage because I don't want you to ruin the match for me because you got to fly off the handle. Turns out there was no reason for that because he just beat him in 40 seconds. Yeah. But he beats the hell out of Duke Hudson. And then Damon Kemp is up in the Raven's Nest and says, "Julius, you get your match with me at Halloween Havoc, but I'm going to put a stipulation on it. Because I got a lot of things I want to do in NXT, and I don't want to look over my shoulder for you guys. So here's what we're going to do. If you beat me at Halloween Havoc, then your brother gets another match with me to try and beat me up some more. But if I beat you, then you don't have to leave NXT. Your brother does."
Dun, dun, dun.
I don't understand why that doesn't make any sense. Why wouldn't you want them both to leave? If I beat you, both you guys got to go because I don't want to be looking over my shoulder for you guys while I'm trying to do stuff in NXT. If I beat you, your brother's got to go, but you get to stick around to make my life a living hell. Why? What? And if you beat me, then your brother gets to beat me up. This is the dumbest stipulation ever.
Very dumb stipulation. I don't understand why the Raven's Nest looks like a scene from American Gladiators. Like
I don't understand why anyway. No,
if you wanted to tell the story of you and your brother are the only reasons each other are successful, so I'm going to split you up, that would have made sense of like, I'm sending him away and you're sticking around and you guys are going to have to fend for your own and you're going to be big fat failures when you do that. That would make sense. The other thing is an issue, and it's really not their fault. But as a wrestling fan, it's something that's always in my head of like, if you're sending someone away, they're usually going to a better place. They're usually getting called up. If you're released, it's usually pretty unceremoniously. So I'm like, oh, we're sending him away to get an actual salary. 2 bazillion times more fans and exposure. Like, so that too, but it is a confusing stipulation. Like it makes no sense.
Nope.
This does not feel different than 2.0.
No, it's the same thing. Same bunch of crap. Backstage, the security guards are talking up Hank, who's got another match, his first as a signed wrestler. I guess he didn't use that first paycheck to buy any gear because he's wearing the same shirt and jeans to wrestle in again. But Quincy Elliott comes out to wish him luck and says, "Hey, you're facing Zion Quinn. You should watch out for Zion Quinn because I pissed him off last week, and I don't want him taking that out on you. I don't understand why he would. There's been no history of that between them, so I don't understand why that exists. But Quincy Elliott dances, and all security guards are very LGBTQ positive.
Yes,
So
all of the sudden.
Yes, all of the Floridian white male security guards are very LGBTQ positive.
It's almost like in Quincy's debut, things weren't handled well, and they got some feedback about that. And all of the sudden,
but I think that this is I like just Quincy just being everybody's pal. I think that's kind of cool.
Quincy's really likable, so I think that everybody would want to be their friend. Like,
yes,
would want to hang out with them. They seem great. So, yeah, man. I don't know. Quincy rules.
There was an Axiom impression. Not Axiom impression, an Axiom. It's my Axiom impression. But where he says, actually, you cannot tell me they're not overdubbing him speaking later after they shoot, because there's no way he can speak with the thing covering his mouth
and completely unmuffled.
Completely unmuffled. So they are trying to thwart the Axiom impression on this show by overdubbing all of his dialogue after you've already shot it with the mask on. I'm convinced of this. I will not stand for it. The Axiom impression will remain long after it has been proven to be no longer accurate, because they're doing it on purpose to ruin this show.
I agree with you. This is their way at getting back at us, as if Shawn Michaels blocking us wasn't cruel enough. But I really want to see this match again. Like, I would like to see it happen because they've been telling us it's going to happen for a while. So
right, it's true. This is also true. Nothing. I stand for nothing. We get the thing like I'm going to write my own chapter of the end of this superhero story, or we're having a trilogy, a lot of good trilogies and superhero stories, and I'm going to write my own ending or something. All right.
And Bob's your uncle.
Yeah, and Bob's your uncle. Somebody's gonna have an uncle who wins next week. I don't know who's gonna be. I like not knowing. You could tell me that Axiom or Nathan Frazier is in the match. You could tell me either one of them win the match for the NXT for North American title, and I'd be like, okay, sure.
Mask versus Bob match.
Mask
That's
versus
what this
Bob?
is. Yeah. Bob's your uncle on one side, Mask on the other side. Nailed it.
That's good. So Zion Quinn faces Hank Walker, who is again a security guard who still dresses like he is a security guard, who is not a security guard anymore because he got a contract and still wrestles in hiking boots and jeans and a shirt for a while until he takes it off. And and he just loses straight up to Zion Quinn, who can't beat anybody. So great job scouting, Shawn Michaels. the guy that Hank Walker beat, Javier Bernal, has never won a match on regular TV. He's won some matches on Level Up. So Hank Walker beat him. So you give him a contract. So he has a match against Zion Quinn, who can't beat anybody on TV except for Hank Walker. Did I miss anything?
No, you pretty much nailed it. The only thing I'll add is why they cannot put him and Briggs and Jensen, Brooks and Dunn, double vest of the beach back to back because they are the same. They have the same theme, and the same inability to move in the ring, and the same archetype. This is God bless Hank, the security guard. He's not there yet. And also shout out to Wade Barrett on commentary because I think it was Byron Saxton was like, isn't this just one of the best stories you've ever heard? And Wade Barrett just goes, no. Just completely no-sells it. And I was like, thank you. You're the heel, and I'm not supposed to agree with you, heel announcer, but I do because this is stupid. But not great.
Yes. I'm trying to remember if he what he. His name is Joe Sculthorpe. Is his real name? It's very interesting. Joe Sculthorpe. He was a former college football player, of course. One of those guys that they just said, "Hey, you've never done this before. Why don't you come over and do this?" And that's kind of what he feels like. He feels like a guy who used to be, a college football player who's not good enough to go pro, and probably hurt his knee at some point, and now they're just going to have him be a guy backstage. Riot DR says, "Hey yo, this Hank Walker story is kind of like the aspiring singer working as a waiter in the jazz club, just waiting for his big break. I've had musicals on my mind lately. Love to the Sour Grap Society. Stay awesome, people. Too sweet to be sour." Yeah, it does feel kind of like that. I don't really understand what this does, except for I guess it makes Zion Quinn a more formidable opponent for Quincy Elliott, because Quincy Elliott comes out afterwards to dance with Hank Walker.
But Quincy's going to beat Zion anyway, right?
Yeah.
So, what?
Quincy's going to avenge Hank Walker losing to Zion Quinn?
You know what, Alex? Sure. Sure.
JD Pringle says Skullthorpe is a He-Man villain. It's not spelled with a K. It's SCUL.
SCU.
Yeah, there you go.
Pride of the West.
Luis has highlighted his own title for this segment. It says Quincy spanks that country boy ass. I did not see that part, but apparently that's something that happened. Quincy's going to have to start learning about boundaries.
Fair. That's fair.
Should have named him Walker Skullthorpe.
Walker, Texas Skullthorpe?
Mm-hmm. It's good. So I don't know. Butch and Ridge are backstage in the locker room, and they have to tell Double Vest the Beach, and also oily abs man and sweater vest. No, that doesn't matter. We're gonna go win the titles, and maybe we'll give you a title shot later, because that's this thing. There you go. Right? Yes.
Yes.
That's all it was.
Accurate.
It's Foytnoit. We got a JD McDonagh little video package, which I honestly thought was one of his better ones, because he said this match is not going to be won by the strongest man in the match or the most aggressive. It's going to be won by the smartest man in the match, the one who's prepared for every possible contingency, which in a match like that makes sense. Like, yeah, that's a good approach for JD McDonagh to have for this kind of match.
Correct. He wasn't telling us how many Americans die on popcorn each year, or
no, it does not.
Bringing out little dummies to dissect. I do need you to do me a favor though. Could you say the smartest man in the match, but like Excalibur? Man in the match. Or I'm sorry, like William Regal, about Excalibur.
The smartest man in the match is the smartest man in the mask. Very good. Good. With a title like that, what's on Luis's browser history? I don't know. And then Braun Breaker.
What if Luis is the porn bots? What if it was him all along?
He's sending them themselves.
I knew it. Oh, I have to ban them.
So Braun Breaker is being interviewed about his triple threat match, and he gets walked up on by Big Body Javi, who I will remind you lost a match to the security guard before the security guard was signed. And that security guard then went on to have his actual first real match and lost to Zion Quinn, who can't beat anybody.
Right.
And Big Body Javi says, I'm going to beat you, Braun Breaker. And Braun Breaker says, yeah, fine. I'm going to kick your ass next week. How about that? And that's what we're going to get. You know?
If that match is more than 14 seconds, they have failed.
Yeah, oh my God, they really have. Speaking of failing, the Yes Boys and Braun Brutes is a really good match, and the ending is so telegraphed that none of this matters.
Yeah, and I also just didn't like that they were furthering a main roster storyline on this episode of NXT when they're trying to start a new era of NXT. But the match was quite good. Like this was
the match is good. Of course, the match is good. These are like Ridge is the least competent guy in the match, and he's been doing it for a while now, and he can throw people around pretty easily. So he fills a role in it, and most of the match was worked by Pete Dunne anyway. It's a fine match. And
it was really good.
We know what the ending is. Imperium comes out, costs them. I would have loved instead for them to attack Pete Dunne in full view of the referee. Referee can throw it out. I never want to see the Yes Boys pin anybody. It's just me. Just kind of done with them. So yeah, there you go.
I'm not done with them. I think this was a good way to protect them. Finishes like this are never gonna be for me, but it was one that made sense. At least it's more that I can say about a lot of old stuff. And the in-ring was excellent. I feel like for a great deal of this, but totally saw the ending coming. Don't love that they're using this as a go home to a main roster premium live event. But a great match to close the show, just with a bad ending, which is a common theme, unfortunately, still, I think, even in the Triple H era. But they're bad endings that at least serve a purpose, I think, a little bit more than they used to.
Okay. Yes. So we have a lot of things to hear about mops on the old thing to read.
And now for something completely different, as they say.
Hey, Chicken Tenders Jam Beard says Moppy ceased the solo to their Usos.
I like that the Ceases have a stable.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Ricardo the Spot Monkey says Junkyard Mop.
That's a good one.
Says adrenaline in my mop.
Nice.
Something. It's a bop.
I'm picturing a mop with the Cody Vader. They coming up.
Alpha Bill says mankind's failed gimmick, Mr. Moppo.
I like that. That's good.
Chris Pereira says the $1 million mop.
Ooh, good one.
He also says X mop, like X Pac, but X mop. Paul Elizabeth says you're a bad mopper. Chris Pereira says he's Mopwell Jacob Freeman and he's better than you. And you know it. Luis says all rise for the king of the black mop. Luis Villarreal says mop guys out.
Oh, that's an excellent one.
Mop guys out. T Electric Mayhem says Mike Mopsum. Nerd Guru says Powerhouse Mops.
I had that one in my head. I forgot to say it out loud. But...
CO says W Mopacy.
Well, that's good. Part of the firm, really good. As mops are.
Matthew Plus says Mopper Kowalski, Abdullah the Mopper. Matthew Plus says the Mop Master, Mopper City Machine Guns.
Mopper City Machine Guns.
Balls Mop Pony. Mop Boy. Mop Morgan. Insane Mop Posse. And CO says the mop there is, the mop there was, the mop there ever will be.
The greatest mop of all time right there. Goat mop.
Kate's Chicken Tenders says you can't spell Pickett without pick. 3 on his debut.
Okay, 2 of those were by bad receiving plays, though. Chase Claypool did not look good, and he had more touchdowns than Trubisky did in his last 2 games combined. So
there you go. Well, it's really, if you're comparing him to Mitchell Trubisky, you've already lost.
That's what I have to do, though. That's all I got over here.
I'm saying, hey, he's better than Mitch Trubisky. Well, you've already lost.
You know who else he's better than?
Who's that?
Mop Trubisky.
Yeah, it's good. Jimmy Pringle says this show was so meh. I will now randomly quote Waterboy. Mama says alligators are ornery because they got all them teeth and no toothbrush.
Well played. Yeah. That was more entertaining than most of this episode.
So Aaron H says, thank you both for being there for this community. This helped me during these tough times. I know it only pops me, but can we have Braun ruining Nina's seagull monologue from the eponymous Seagull by Anton Chekhov?
Saved by the Bell timeout. That does not only pop you. Okay, that also pops me tremendously. And second of all, you're sending in super chats, and we're here to pop you guys. That's what we're here to do at this point in the show.
There you go. Why do you say that you have kissed the ground I walked on? You should kill me rather. I'm so tired. If I only could rest. I'm a seagull. No, I'm an actress. He is there too. Well, don't matter. He does not believe in the theater. He used to laugh at my dreams, so that little by little I became downhearted. Allie ceased to believe in it too. Then came all the cares of love, the continual anxiety about my little one, so that I soon grew trivial and spiritless and played my parts without meaning. I'm a seagull. No, that's not what I meant to say. Do you remember how you shot a seagull once? A man chanced to pass that way and destroyed it out of idleness. That is an idea for a short story, but it is not what I meant to say. I meant to say, I'm not finished with you. What is this show that we do?
It's the best.
It must be. That's the only possible option I see. What happened here? Okay. Now we're gonna get into some of these other ones. Alpha Bill says Drew Moppentire with his sword squeaky.
Well played.
And Michael Dammit says it's the Undermopper.
Oh, that's a good one.
Undertaker, Undermopper, right?
Back when mops were men.
Back when men were mops. And Luis says, my browser history consists of Kemanito memes, social media, and genius for the jukebox. I will not tolerate these allegations made against me.
Yeah, you didn't want it in your browser history, so you sent the porn bots.
There you go. So here we go. First one.
Do I have to play?
Yes, you do. There's a few here for you. Axiom singing The Rainbow Connection. Hold on. I'm going special guest. It's Linda doing the banjo. Blinky, 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 blink. Blinky, 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 blink. Blinky, 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 blink. Blinky, 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 blink.
I've never heard a more beautiful thing in my life.
Thank you. Ricardo the Spot Monkey says the Mopment Day.
Judgment Day.
Ah, I think I should say the new day, the Mopment Day. I think now I get it. Kate Chicken Tender says Braun Mopper.
It's Mop Steiner. Just call him Mop Steiner.
Oh, Mop Steiner. My God. Orion Ben says Darby Allin singing "Numb" by U2. Here we go. Don't move, don't talk, out of time, don't think, don't worry, everything's just fine, just fine. Don't grab, don't clutch, don't hope for too much, don't breathe, don't achieve, don't grieve without leave. Don't check, just balance on the fence, don't answer, don't ask, don't try, it makes sense. Don't whisper, don't talk, don't run. If you can walk, don't cheat, compete, don't meet, miss the one, beat, don't travel by train, don't eat, don't spill, don't piss in the drain, don't make a will, Malachi Black. Dave Moptista.
Ooh. Batista. No, Moptista's right. You're right.
Batiste Mop is very funny to me. Here we go.
Biggie Langston chimed in. Hi, Ettore.
Dwayne the Mopson. That's good. Kate Chicken Tenders. Jam Beard says
Stone Cold Steve Mopston.
That's good. Dwayne the Mopson. That's good. You got that already. Okay. Genius. Black Alicious singing. Wait, what? Hold on. Alphabet Aerobics. It's Regal. This is a Regal singing Black Alicious Alphabet Aerobics. Artificial amateurs aren't at all amazing. Analytically, I assault, animate things, broken barriers, bounded by the bomb beat, buildings are broken. Basically, I'm bombarding, casually create catastrophes, casualties, canceling cats, got their canopies collapsing, detonate a dime of dank daily do and do. Demonstrations, data on the down low, eating others' editors with every energetic, epileptic episode, elevated etiquette, furious, fat, fabulous, fantastic flurries of funk felt, feeding the fanatics. I'm not going through the entire alphabet. I just want you to know that you're a lovely, sweet pudding man with a mask. Scrummy, scrummy, scrummy. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
If you did get, I was gonna say, if you got to W though, what would you say?
But that's a lot. It's too far.
Right, but if cut to the end, you know what I mean. W would be.
It would be.
War Games.
There we go. Hummer Limo by ASAP Ferg is requested for Regal. See me with my VV teeth, yeah. Ooh, I got LV on my fleece, yeah. Diamonds on me, I'm elite, yeah. All right, she make me want to make a porno DVD. Put your hands up, yeah. Throw them bands up, right. Grip your pants up, right. She a prancer, that's right. Couple bottles with them bottles, she a dancer. Cuckoo, whoa. Man with a mask. Scrummy. War Games.
You just got War Games.
There's War Games. This is Mop E Mopston.
Okay.
That's
you, bro. That's him.
A
little narcissistic to super chat about yourself, but I respect it.
It's a little too much. Regal gives us Love Fool by the Cardigans from Luis Villarreal.
That's excellent.
Dear, I fear we're facing a problem. You love me no longer, and I know, and maybe there is nothing that I can do to make you do. Mama tells me I shouldn't bother, that I just ought to stick to another man, a man that surely deserves me. But I think you do, man in the mask. So I cray and I pray and I beg. Love me, say that you love me. Fool me, go on and fool me. Love me, pretend that you love me. Leave me, just say that you need me. So I cry and I beg for you to love me, say that you love me, leave me, say that you need me. I can't care about anything but you. And war games.
Of course.
Mop games.
That's kind of what we played tonight.
It is kind of what we played tonight. It's true. So here we go. Orion Bez says Nathan Frazier does Ante Up by Mop. Okay. No, stop it. Ante up, yap that fool. Ante up, kidnap that fool. It's the perfect timing. You see the man shining. Get up off of them goddamn diamonds. Ante up, yap that fool. Ante up, kidnap that fool. Get him. Hit him. Yap him, zap him, and Bob's your uncle.
Oh, guys, the show's gonna run so long. Oh, no, I'm doing a run-in. Oh, no, subscribe to Fightful Select. Scoops.
G Electric Mayhem wants Nathan Frazier to sing Rock Lobster by the B-52s.
That's a good one.
It is a good one. That's true. It is a very good one. Hold on.
It's a deep cut.
Okay. We were at the beach. Everybody had matching towels. Somebody went under a dock, and then they saw a rock. And what wasn't a rock? It was a rock lobster. Rock lobster. Rock lobster. And Bob's your uncle. What a crazy song that is.
It is.
Mm-hmm. Everybody had matching towels. But it wasn't a rock. It was a rock lobster.
No,
Ricardo,
Matt, come on. Keep up, okay? It's Sean Mopsap.
There you go. Ricardo the Smart Monkey wants Regal does Dream Walkin' by Toby Keith. Also, Kate's bangs are on fleek.
Thank you. I'll
Regal
pull up
says,
my bangs as you're doing this.
She left a yellow rose and a long neck bottle on a table beside my bed with a short little note that said, I had a good time. It was written in lipstick red. She didn't sign her name. I wonder if that's a little secret that she keeps. Ooh, she's walking around in my sleep. Dream walking, pillow talking. She's calling my name again. Dave's breaking. I ain't waking up. I'm sleeping in. I'm on a roll now. I gotta know how this dream ends. It ends with me and you, man in the mask, frolicking in a meadow with desserts of all kinds. Battle frolic. Okay, here's one for you.
Aww.
Case Chicken Tenders Jam Beard wants you, Tiffany, to sing Coal Miner's Daughter in honor of Loretta Lynn.
Where is it? There it is. Okay. That's funny because I also referenced the coal miner's glove match earlier.
It's true.
Well, I was born a coal miner's daughter in a cabin on a hill in Butcher Holler. We were poor because my daddy wasn't rich yet, but we had love. That's one thing that daddy made sure of. He shoveled coal to make a poor man's dollar. My daddy worked all night in the Van Leer coal mines, all day long in the field hoeing corn. Mommy rocked the babies at night and read the Bible by the coal oil light, and everything would start all over come break morn. That's it.
This is very good. It's very good.
Thank you.
Luis Villarreal.
Her dad is very rich. It's like the one thing we know.
Luis Villarreal says, wants Braun singing Do You Really Want to Hurt Me by Culture Club.
Nice combos today, guys.
These are really good. All right, come on now. Come on. There we go. Give me time to realize my crime. Let my love and steel I've danced inside your eyes. How can I be real? Do you really want to hurt me? Do you really want to make me cry? Precious kisses, words that burn me. Lovers never ask you why. In my heart, the fire's burning. Choose my color, find a star. Precious people always tell me that's a step too far. A step too far. Do you really want to hurt me? Do you really want me to hurt you? Because I'm not finished with you. It's good. Well done with that. Can Finn Balor sing Controlla by Drake? Suppose. Okay. I really hate how many there's so many pop-up ads.
It's true.
Right. My YIY just changed. You're just buzzed the front gate. I thank God how you came. How many more days could I wait? I made plans with you, and I won't let them fall through. I think I'd lie for you. I think I'd die for you. Do see cry for you. Do things when you want me to, like Controlla, yeah. Controlla, yeah. You're a bad father. We'll keep it going because somebody wants this song again. Finn Balor singing Cats in the Cradle. This is what we do this every other week. Lord Jackson wants it this time. My child arrived just the other day. He came to the world in the usual way, but there were planes to catch, bills to pay. He learned to walk while I was away, and he was talking before I knew it. And as he grew, he said, I'm going to be like you, Dad. You know, I'm going to be like you. And the Cats in the Cradle and the Silver Spoon, Little Boy Blue and the Man on the Moon. I'm nearly coming home, Dad. I don't know when. We'll get together then. You don't have a good time then, but except we won't, because I'm a bad father.
People request that one because it's a banger. After banger.
You have another one for Tiffany Stratton. T Electric Mayhem wants Tiffany Stratton singing Once in a Lifetime by the Talking Heads.
At least you guys you're bringing the heat with good songs for her.
Yeah.
I can only hear the original playing in the back of my head now. Okay. And you may find yourself living in a shotgun shack. And you may find yourself in another part of the world. And you may find yourself behind the wheel of a large automobile. And you may find yourself in a beautiful house with a beautiful wife. And you may ask yourself, well, how did I get here? Letting the days go by? Let the water hold me down. Letting the days go by? Water flowing underground. Into the blue again after the money's gone? Once in a lifetime? Water flowing underground. Thank you.
Very good. NCB wants William Regal singing Let's Groove by Earth, Wind, and Fire.
You got to bring it for NCB. He's got a lot on his plate.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I know. We can boogie down, up, on, down. The boogie sound, down, up, on, down. The boogie sound, down, up, on, down. The boogie sound, down, up, on, down. Let's groove tonight. Down, up, on, down. Share the spice of life. The boogie sound, down, up, on, down. Baby, slice it right. The boogie sound, down, up, on, down. We're going to groove tonight. The boogie sound, down, up, on, down. Let this groove get to you, move. It's all right. All right. All right, man in the mask. Let this groove set in your shoes. So stand up. All right, all right. Do scrummy. Ooh, ooh, ooh. The war games.
Love this.
Mopper. So we have one more.
So close on all these. Hang Mop, Adam Page. You're so close. You're so close.
I know, you're very close. This is the oldest mop in history. Moppy Fish.
That's a pre-war mop.
The Street Mop Fits is really good too.
Ooh, that's great.
So one crazy one here from Kate's Chicken Tenders Jam Beard, and then a duet between the two of us. So here we go. All right. So this is from Kate Chicken Tender says, because it's spooky season, can we have Danhausen, Darby, and Linda singing the kidnapping Sandy Claus song from Nightmare Before Christmas? And Luis just goes off the rails in all caps. Says it's a creepy Christmas movie, not a Halloween movie, y'all. For fuck's sake, like it can be both.
It's a raging debate, though.
You can watch it once in October and once in December. Okay, like you're allowed.
The kids have a lot to say about this.
My goodness,
Luis Mabnoro Suzuki, come on, guys.
Okay, here we go. This is crazy. Look, a lot of them in here. Okay, so here we go. Kidnap Mr. Sandy Claus? I want to do it. It's hard to do. Let's draw straws. Jack said we should work together. 3 of a kind. Birds of a feather. Now and forever. We la 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 la. Kidnap the Santa Claus? Lock him up real tight, throw away the key, and then turn off all the lights. First, we're gonna set some bait inside a nasty trap and wait. When he comes a sniffing, we will snap the trap and close the gate. Wait, I've got a better plan to catch this big red lobster man. Let's pop him in a boiling pot, and when he's done, we'll butter him up. Kidnap the Santa Claus? Throw him in a box, bury him for 90 years, then see if he talks. Are we all on board? Fittest. That's good.
That's a lot.
Yeah. There's a lot to do there.
That was a lot to do.
Mm-hmm. All right. Lord Kev wants Hakuna Matata, sung by Darby Allin and Tiffany Stratton.
Of course he does. Man, Sheila's really taking a back seat to Tiff.
No, Tiff is, here we go. So,
are you Timon or Pumbaa?
I don't know. Which one do you think is more Tiffany's thing?
Timon, I think.
Yeah, okay.
Hakuna Matata. What a wonderful phrase.
Hakuna Matata. Ain't no passing craze.
It means no worries for the rest of your days.
It's our problem.
It's our problem-free philosophy. Hakuna Matata. Why, when he was a young warthog.
When I was a young warthog.
Very nice.
Thanks.
He found his aroma lacked a certain appeal. And he could clear the savannah after every meal.
I'm a sensitive soul, though. I seem thick-skinned, and it hurt that my friend never stood downwind. And oh, the shame.
He was ashamed.
Thought of changing my name.
Oh, what's in a name?
And I got downhearted.
How'd you feel?
Every time that I...
Hey, Pumbaa, not in front of the kids.
Sorry, I was going to say farted.
Hakuna Matata. What a wonderful phrase.
No, yeah, we're done. We're done. Okay, so we have now people. Adam Cole, Mape. And then we got 2 here for Rey Mysterio that you have decided to make me do this. And I feel like this is culturally insensitive, and yet I'm going to do it anyway.
If it's culturally insensitive, people can chime in, and I apologize, but everybody seemed to really like it last time.
Okay.
I feel like if Ricardo was requesting it, we're probably in good shape.
Then we're all right. If Ricardo's doing it, because wants Rey Mysterio doing Rebel Yell. Okay. Hold on. I do everything for my kid. Last night, a little dancer came a-dancing to my door. Last night, a little angel came pumping on my floor. She said, come, baby, you got a license for love. And if it expires, pray help from me up above. Because in the midnight hour, she cried more, more, more. With a rebel yell, she cried more, more, more. Wow, in the midnight hour, babe, more, more, more. With a rebel yell, more, 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 more.
It's just so good.
And now, hopefully one final one.
Yeah, we're capping it. We're capping
and we're
it.
done. We're done. Luis says that I sound identical to Ray, which is nice.
You sound a lot like him.
It's just the staccato delivery and the little bit of gravel and very whispery. Very. CO wants Mysterio singing "Beat It." So here we go. They told Miho, "Don't you ever come around here. Don't want to see your face. You better disappear. The fire's in their eyes and their words are really clear. So beat it. Just beat it. Ooh. You better run. You better do what you can. Ooh. Don't want to see no blood. Don't be a macho man. Ooh. You want to be tough. Better do what you can. So beat it. But you want to be bad. Just beat it. Beat it. Beat it. Beat it. No one wants to be defeated. Showing how funky and strong is your fight. It doesn't matter who's wrong or who's right. Just beat it. Beat it. Just beat it. Beat it. Just beat it. Beat it. Beat it. Beat it.
How strong is your fight? Whatever happened with that phrase broke me.
All right. That's enough of that. All right.
Oh, man.
Kate, where can they find you?
When I'm not corpsing at Alex's Rey Mysterio impression, you can find me at the Mark Order podcast every Wednesday, where we talk all things All Elite. You can catch me Fridays doing the AEW Rampage and SmackDown post show. And you can catch me this weekend doing both our Extreme Rules post show, which will be on Fightful Select. So subscribe there. And I'll also be doing commentary at Excite Wrestling at twitch.tv/Excite Wrestling with no E, but an X. And that's where you can find me at Miss Kate Fabe on Twitter. Alex, are you okay?
Mm-hmm. I'm realizing people have sent in sour chats, which is not. It's just a whole bunch of things now I have to do before we leave. So you said all those things, and now I got to do these things.
How many are there?
Nerd Guru says I have several here. Braun Mopper, Hang Mop Page, Acknowledge Your Tribal Mop, Alex Pawlowski Mop Games. Very good, Nerd Guru. Thank you very much. Caden says, AKA the third C's twin, says this weekend was great and horrible. My mom got married and I walked her down the aisle. Then some other stuff. We don't need to talk about that. Kate, you're the best for calming me down. Alex, can you sing Here Comes the Bride as Regal for my mom? I don't. All I know is the Here Comes the Bride part. So here we go. Here comes the bride. Here comes the bride.
Dressed in white.
Here comes the bride, and the bride is coming here. Here comes the bride, all dressed in white. And let's be honest, who is she kidding? Anyway, War Games. I'm terrible. That was terrible. I mean, listen, it's Caden's mom. I'm assuming, perhaps I should not have assumed.
There is evidence that maybe, yeah, of course.
Okay, so Allie, I have to find this one now. She's requested a song, and I have to find it. It's "Bop to the Top."
That better
High
be
School Musical.
A $35 sour chat.
It was certainly not.
So sour chats are for when we're on select.
Yes.
And then your super chats and humper chats are on the main. That's why at the top of the show, that's what I say.
Right.
Respect me. No, I'm just kidding. That's actually, it's more beneficial when you do that to me and Alex. But for protocol wise.
Yes, for protocol. For protocol. Where? There we go. I'm gonna send you this link. In the
You're not finished with me.
I'm not, because Linda and Sheila have to do it together.
Oh, loud.
Walk
to the top.
Yeah. So
we're not doing the Spanish part.
No, we're not doing that. Okay, hold on. Here, I got my thing. Here we go.
I'll be italics, girl.
Okay, you be italics, and I'll be the other one. Here we go. I believe in dreaming, shooting for the stars.
Baby, to be number one, you've got to raise the bar.
Kicking and a scratching, grinding out my best.
Anything it takes to climb the ladder of success.
Work our tails off every day. Gotta bump the competition, blow them all away.
Caliente, suave.
Yeah, we're gonna bop, 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 to the top.
Bop to the top.
Yes.
Slide and rhythm that and ride that rhythm.
Jump and hop, hop till we drop and start again.
Zip, zap, zop, pop like a mop. Like a mop.
Like a mop.
Scoot around the corner. Move it till the groove, till the music stops. Do the bop,
to
bop,
the
bop,
bop, bop, to the top.
to the top.
Don't ever stop. Bop,
Bop
to the top.
to the top.
Gimme, gimme, shimmy, shimmy, shake some booty and turn around. Flash a smile in their direction, show some muscle, do the hustle. And you get the gist. So thank you very much, Alice.
That was a mop chat.
That was good. Hey guys. Also, I love this one for Mopsic Attraction was really good.
Ooh, that's a very good one.
Over on Know Your News, the YouTube channel over there, we've been doing now for 22 episodes this movie review thing. This 22nd episode starts our month of Schlocktoberfest, doing lots of like spooky season movies. Please go over there and watch those things. We have a very devoted fan base here that I feel is ripe to go over there and help out over there, because we have thousands of you who watch this show every week, and sometimes those videos don't do as well as we'd like. So it would be really great, and some of them we're really proud of, like our Grease review, in which we tear the shit out of Grease.
Yeah, so
and other things too.
Wow, Louis saying Moptober, well played. Yeah, and look, if you can watch this review show and not watch the wrestling show like so many of you do, you don't have to watch the movie, but you can go to kynchats.com. You can ask us questions. You can get your comment or statement read about the movie that you want, and you can make requests about what we should be watching, though Schlocktober is pretty full, and we have some holiday choices around the quarter, but we appreciate your support over there, and in general to support Know Your News as well. It's a non-wrestling related channel, though we, of course, end up overlapping certain references of the time, but support what's going on there. It's another Jimmy Van passion project, and it's a lot of fun, so get in
the episode that drops this week has us reviewing the episode of The Floor is Lava that features Chuck Taylor, Kristen Statlander, and Orange Cassidy. So it's a little bonus review on top of us reviewing the very wacky comedy from the 80s called Transylvania 65000, which features Jeff Goldblum and most of Gina Davis's boobs. Like, it's a crazy movie.
Yeah, it's real weird.
So please go over there and watch that and support. I really appreciate it. And you follow me on Twitter at Alex Sour Graps, and over on my YouTube when I start streaming again, which should be this week. So thank you so much, and we'll see you all later. Keep cool, gabagools.